Hello. If you liked the video, I would like to remind everyone that you can be aware of every video by subscribing to my channel and turning on notifications. You can support us by doing this. Enjoy watching. Cirdan is a tall elf with outstanding shipbuilding skills and has a long grey beard during the War of the Ring. He is probably over 10,000 years old at the end of the Third Age and is known as the oldest living elf in Middle-earth. Cirdan is thought to have been born in Quivinan, possibly where the elves first awakened. Cirdan participated in the Great Journey to the Undying Lands with the elven people known as the Teleri because of their close relationship to Elwi and Olwe. However, during the journey, Elwi met and fell in love with Maya Melian, and she decided to stay in Middle-earth. When attempts to find Elwi failed, Olwe led most of the Teleri people to the Undying Lands, but Cirdan and a band remained behind. Cirdan wanted to follow Olwe to the west, but was warned by the Vala. The Vala stated that Cirdan's ability to build ships was insufficient to face the difficulties of the Great Sea and that he should be patient. Cirdan accepted the Vala's warning and obeyed. Cirdan, the leader of the Teleri, lived on the shores of Middle-earth and was known as the Vala's elves for their ties to the sea. Under his leadership, harbors and breakwaters such as Berthambar and Iglarist were built. He also found a significant amount of pearls on Baelor Island and gave them to Elwi. During Morgoth's attacks, Cirdan's forces were driven to the coast, but in the end the elves triumphed. However, Morgoth's orcs still posed a threat. In the year 462 of the First Age, Cirdan sent a fleet to the aid of Fingon. He accepted Iranian Gil-galad, who lived in Fala's sanctuaries during this period. After the War of Unnumbered Tears, many elves sought refuge in Berthambar and Iglarist, and Cirdan welcomed them into his lands. However, as a result of Morgoth's attack, these regions were invaded and many elves were killed or captured. The surviving elves settled on the Isle of Baelor and hid their ships at the mouth of the river Cirdan. Cirdan sent his 7 ships to the Undying Lands to seek help from the Vala, but this mission failed and only Voronoi was spared. Cirdan later learns that the kingdom of Nargothrond is in danger and decides to destroy the bridge, but due to Turin not heeding this warning, Morgoth's forces easily enter Nargothrond. After the fall of Doriath and Gondolin, many elves took refuge in the shelters of the river Cirdan. Among this group, important characters include Elrond, Elros, Erendil and Elwing. Cirdan and his elves helped build Erendil's ship, Vingilet. While many elves went to the Undying Lands after Morgoth's defeat, Cirdan decided to stay in Middle-earth and settled in Lindon. He deals with shipbuilding in the Grey Havens and takes elves who want to leave Middle-earth to the Undying Lands. Cirdan also befriends the Númenórean sailors and teaches them shipbuilding. This helps the Númenóreans improve their seafaring skills. In 1693, Sauron forges the One Ring, and the elven leaders and other elves led by Celebrimbor decide to keep the 3 rings of power. Gil-galad takes Nenya and Vilya for himself, while the Ring of Fire gives Narya to Cirdan. Sauron invades Eriador and attempts to capture the Grey Havens in 1700, but is repelled by a fleet attack from Númenor. At the end of the Second Age, the last alliance army of elves and men attacks Mordor. Sauron kills Gil-galad, High King of the Noldor, and Elendil, King of Gondor and Arnor, but is himself destroyed. Elendil's son Isildur cuts the One Ring from Sauron's hand with the sword Narsil, and Sauron is defeated. Elrond and Cirdan tell Isildur that they must throw the ring into the Mountain of Fire, but Isildur takes the ring. A few years later, Isildur is killed in the Gladden Fields and the One Ring is lost. Cirdan returns to the Grey Havens after the war and begins to strengthen the region. Istari and Cirdan. In the 1000th year of the Third Age, the 5 wizards come to Middle-earth. Cirdan sees Gandalf as the most important of the Istari and gives him Narya, the Ring of Fire. Gandalf and the other Istari are sent to aid the people of Middle-earth. In 1300, the Lord of the Nazgul founded the kingdom of Angmar, posing a threat to the Dúnedain. Cirdan aids the Dúnedain and prevents the conquest of the northern kingdom. In 1974, the Nazgul Lord threatens the Dúnedain at Forochel. Cirdan sends a ship to rescue King Arvedui, but Arvedui and the crew are lost. The Lord of the Nazgul is defeated in the Battle of Fornost in 1975 and the kingdom of Angmar is destroyed. The kingdom of the Dúnedain ends, and Cirdan takes the Palantir under protection in the Tower of Elustirion. Rumors spread that Sauron has risen again and resides in Dol Guldur. The White Council is established and important figures such as Cirdan, Elrond, Galadriel, Gandalf and Saruman are included in this council. In 2941, Sauron was exiled from Dol Guldur, but fled to his former stronghold of Mordor. In 3018, Cirdan sends Guldur to Rivendell and the quest to destroy the One Ring begins. On March 25, the One Ring is destroyed and Sauron's kingdom collapses. At the end of the Third Age, Cirdan and his sailors build white ships to leave Middle-earth. Cirdan eventually sends Gandalf and other important elf leaders from Middle-earth to the Undying Lands on a white ship. At the beginning of the Fourth Age, Cirdan waits to take the last elves who have not left Middle-earth to the Undying Lands, and after they set sail, Cirdan leaves Middle-earth in the last ship.